All right. Hello, everybody. Okay, so I just sent in a link, which is the free weekly asset. It's still available today, and tomorrow after 4 p.m. There's gonna be another one. Hey, how are you? Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot this one. Um, yeah, right. So let's see. All right, it should work. Yeah. Yeah, sorry for spamming the chat. I just made sure it's working. Right, so today I just need to remake this whole project for tutorial. It shouldn't take long. I just want to make the scripts a teeny bit beginner friendly. Right now, just using those triggers, events, so it might be better if I just use a simpler approach. So I'm planning is just copy this whole project to a new one and rewrite it to make it easier. So yeah, I'm just gonna start a new project. Universal, yep. I'm gonna call it yeah, I don't need to connect it to the cloud. Yep, all right. Yeah, that must be the vertical one. So in theory, I'm streaming to vertical and horizontal. So there should be 2 streams. Okay. There's gonna be a loads of copying in this one, so I think I can reuse it. Input actions, yeah. Yeah. Sprint is shift. Yeah. Okay. Come on. What? Serial. So, folder. Yep. Right, so I'm gonna create a folder for scripts. And make one for scripting. So this is gonna be player. Big player, a game manager. Here I make an empty one. Managers. This is gonna be game manager. Do I need an UI manager? Scripts. So I don't need that. Enums finished. Yeah, we'll need a head rotator. Actually, am I not gonna make it that complicated? So I just simply make a doll script. Doll. So we got a player, we got the doll, we got the game manager. So just simplifying. Yeah, obviously player movement. Player movement and so the scan gonna be on the doll. so I don't need that. This might be better on the game manager, so it doesn't need to communicate with it. Timer. I'm probably gonna need a timer. Cause that script gonna go on this one. And a UI manager, well, probably, yeah, that should go on the managers. Right, it's gonna go to the managers. Managers, UI manager, game manager. Yep. Player movement, stall, and timer. Yeah, I won't need that. Yeah, and I'm gonna need to package, I think two. One of them is Cinemachine. Oh, registry. CCC, Cinemachine, yep. Oh. What? Shit. Hmm. Oh well. Yeah, that one. The other one is Cinema Machine. That what is it called? Tween. The tween. The tween. Okay, come on. Okay, set up. Oh, this takes ages. Yeah, fine, whatever. Okay, so I definitely gonna need enums, actually. For states. So, should I call it? Yeah, states. I think I'm gonna call it game state. Yeah. Okay. State. So red, white, green light. This is gonna be the light state. I think I'm gonna make a separate enum. Game state. Okay. So if I want to make a multiplayer, I think I'm just gonna need these two, maybe three. Yeah, so I just make it simpler so it will be suitable for beginners. Because I'm just trying to remake the tutorial. So playing. Yeah, these two should be fine. Yep, time. So just build it up quickly, and probably tomorrow I'm gonna start making a video about it. Okay, just get the assets from the other one. Actually, if I make a separate scene, duplicate script class. Yeah, fine. Manager, I don't need the manager. Director. Nope. Timer. Yep. So I will need export. I need this one. I need the main camera. Not even a global one. I need the timer, the safe area. Yep, without this one. Input manager I don't need. Environment. So this is what I need. Finish trigger I don't need it. Yep. Squid Game doll. I don't need the head rotator. Body head. Layer scan. Nope. Yeah, these are the two. Yeah, I'm probably gonna remake this one. I don't need the player event system. Nope. Just completely, and the canvas. It just probably just showing the stuff. Yeah. One more I need, and here. Nope. UI. Text slash pro import. Yeah, it's fine. And then I need these. Okay. Screen script class. Export package. Input actions. Nope. Don't need the scripts. Need that. Yep. that's it. So yeah, it will be. Yeah. It's just a bigger audience, so I was thinking it's worth doing it. Not that complicated, not all kinds of events and stuff. Okay, scenes. So in theory, it should just work. Yep. So what I'm missing is the player. Right now I'm not gonna use these as prefab, so that's fine. I don't need to touch that. Canvas. Okay. Yeah, I can share everything. So it will be probably on GitHub. Yeah, probably GitHub is the easiest way. So yeah. Yeah, so I probably won't be able to share these assets. So this it's not mine, but I will provide a link where you can download it, all of them. And yeah, basically it's up to you if you download it or you're just gonna use a placeholder. But I can share this image because it's basically just AI generated. And yeah, this is also a free asset, this texture. So I link everything. I'm gonna link everything in the description. These three are free as well. So yeah. Okay, so this one gonna be damn it. So duplicate. This is gonna be assets from timer. Yeah, that's it. The manager's gonna go there. Actually, oh, doll. Squid Game doll. Yeah, like that. So right now it's just like a cleanup, so you can you can see where everything is. So manager's gonna go under the managers, and it can be hidden, same as the assets. And since they are basically static stuff, I don't really need to worry about it. So napkin spell it. Yep. So basically these are empty containers. Tree root, gonna go to environment. Nope, assets. Oh yeah, it's just assets. So in this case, what I need to focus on is this Squid Game doll. So I put it on the top. Squid Game doll. The other ones, I don't even need to touch them. Yeah. So I just, yeah. The only moving part is the head on this doll. So come on. So this should be easily rotated like that by a script. So if I'm gonna go here, Squid Game doll, this is gonna be the doll script. Enums doesn't go anywhere, the manager's already on the managers. Yep. And the timer is gonna go on the timer. The only thing we need is the player. So again, I'm just gonna create an empty one. But in this case, it's just separation. So so I won't be using this object as a child object of the player. So it's just a visual separation. So in the player script, it's gonna go the player movement. We will need a few components. So I'm gonna need a rigid body and a capsule collider. So it gonna go up 1. So I'm just setting the position, and on the radius 0.3. Usually it just works well. The height 2, so it exactly touches the ground. For the player, I can set like a tag or like a visual representation. It's there. So for the environment, again, I can set it static, but it's more like an optimization stuff, which I don't really need to worry about it on this tutorial project. So for the player, first I need to make it move. Yeah, so rigid body is for physics, and the collider is for collision with other objects. So this is my movement script. So I'm gonna just copy it and paste it. So what it does, input actions. It's not input actions, it's gonna be inputs, input system actions. Jesus. I explain it in a sec. Okay, so player. It doesn't. That's for me. That's strange. Yeah, but anyway, if you go to the asset store, just go to sale, publisher of the week, and get your gift. So it's basically gonna get you here. Yeah, sure. So where was I? Player. So yeah, player movement. So so right now I've got the script and the values. So if I go back here, this one is just a required component. So if I try to remove this one, it won't enable it. I won't be able to remove this script, and I think I've got for this one, yeah. So these are dependent on this one. Or if I remove it, so remove it and add the script to it, it's gonna automatically add it to it. I just revert it because I already set this up. Okay. So yeah, these are just variables for acceleration, deceleration. So once we press the W, it will accelerate over time, and once we release it, it's just gonna decelerate. I just set the min and max speed, and this camera transform is for it's gonna be needed for the Cinemachine camera where we look around, so the player is gonna follow wherever we look. And these ones are just references, for example, for the rigid body, which is gonna be this one. And these are for so when we read the inputs of the mouse, it's going to be a vector too. So we need to convert it to a 3D movement. So that's why we need this variable. Yeah, and we're gonna apply it. We're gonna apply the force to it. Actually, on Twitch. Shoot. Studio content live. Yep. And yep. Right. OBS and chat. So, yeah, the awake runs once when the game object enabled. Also, it's similar to a start function, but awake always runs first, then start. Well, awake on enable start, but actually there's a graph unity. Yep. So this one, every frame, this one happens. Well, not every frame, but once this happens. So on awake and on enable, when you initialize the object, and reset and start, which is also an initialization, but it always happens after awake and on enable. And then you've got this loop. First the fixed update, then the update, and finally the late update happens the update and late update happens every frame. The fixed update happens at a fixed rate. which is set. I think it's here. No. The preferences, project settings. So physics. They moved it. It was somewhere here. Physics to the time. Yeah, time. So fixed time step. So 0.02. So it will happen 50 times every second. And the difference between awake and on enable and on disable happens every time we do something like this. So it's on disable, on enable, on disable, on enable, while start on and awake only starts once when you press start or you just load up the game. So in this case, every start and awake once loaded, and every on enable and on disable happens every time I enable or disable. Yep. With the input actions, because this one's using events, you need to subscribe and unsubscribe from this event, which in this case it's not really accurate, but kinda. Yeah, visibility, but also if you have any script on it. So for example, here's my sample scene. Here. So for example, if I disable the player, it also gonna disable every component of it. So not just the visibility. So basically, it's not called when I disable and enable the player, it's called on each individual script if I disable the player movement or enable the player movement. Okay, so I need a little cheat sheet. So yeah, I need a Cinemachine camera and a follow target, which is gonna be somewhere there. Okay. So let's set up the camera. I'm just gonna add the Cinemachine camera to the. Well, actually, yeah. I'm just gonna add it. Yep, and I'm gonna need a empty. This is gonna be the follow target. Oh. Yep. Actually. So for Cinemachine, basically just a camera system for following the player, for a bunch of stuff. but it's quite modular, adding stuff to it. And recently they reworked it, so it's completely different, and sometimes it takes a while to get used to the new one. It's kind of the same, it's just the stuff that used to be in a specific space, it's just not there anymore, so I just need to find it again. Right, camera transform, I think it's gonna be this one. Oh, come on. So right now I'm just referencing objects to the script. So, Cinemachine camera, we are gonna need a tracking target, which is gonna be the follow target, which position, if we check out the player, obviously it's like a 2 meter height on this particular capsule. So if you want to get the eye level, you just need to pull this one slightly up. I'm just gonna make a follow target, and you roughly can tell which would be an eye level, maybe slightly up. Yeah, kinda. It's not that important, so 0.7 be fine. Yeah, so the main camera, it's basically just a static camera. It does nothing, just rendering the scene. Right now it's up there and looking down. So if you want to make it follow the player, or do rotation or anything, you need to write those scripts manually and this kind of stuff. Cinemachine is already written, so it's just a modular camera system where you can where you just add the modules. Well, just let's go through it. So if I disable this one, press play, see, I can't do anything. It doesn't follow the mouse. If I add some modules to this Cinemachine camera, it will be it will do everything with just a few clicks. So I'm just gonna, so the position control, I'm just gonna lock the camera on the player, so it will follow everywhere. Rotation, I think we need pan tilts. Yep. So this is basically gonna get the so this will rotate the camera itself, and the last thing we need is a component called input axis controller. And I just need to find within the input system data pointer. Yeah, just this look. So Cinemachine. Oh yeah. Yeah, the only thing is Cinemachine default or control. Right, it's using the Cinemachine input actions. Okay, it's actually not what we're gonna need. So I'm gonna go back to assets, inputs, this one, and gonna add the player look and the again player look. Yep. I think that's it. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it follows. It's just a little too slow. So we just need to increase the legacy gain, I think. Mouse X. Oh. Yeah. 200 mouse Y and 200, I think. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. 200. Okay. Inputs actions. Yeah, keyboard. Yep. Oh well, so there are plugins for that, but it's really generic. So if you want specific stuff like I do right now when I press the W key, I just basically accelerate, and when I release I need to decelerate, and just rewriting that generic script is probably more difficult than just write your own. Okay, so that's one thing. So yeah, player movement. I think it should work by default. I just need to add some values to it. It's always the most difficult part. So let's try 5. I have no idea. Minimum speed is 0. Yep. Oh, okay. So why did that happen? So on the rigid body, so if I make something like this, select the player, so I look around and when I press W, it's gonna add force to the player, but as you can see, it just falls to the ground. So the reason is because we don't have any constraints on the rigid body. So the rigid body, you can tell to freeze positions and rotations. So right now for the positions, I actually needed to run all directions, so I won't constrain that. For rotation, we only need to rotate on the y-axis, looking around. So if I disable the rotation on the x and the z, it shouldn't fall over. It doesn't. Yep. So yeah. What else? So yeah. So here it does read the input. So if I press the W, then it's gonna give on the Y 1. If I press the S, then -1. If I press the A, then on the X value it's gonna and -1 and D 1. So we are just applying it to the current movement vector. And if you check this out, we need to move the player on the X, so on the red X, and the Z blue axis. So that's why if I press the W, the Z axis is actually set to the input Y axis. So yeah. Okay, so for the acceleration, so we are gonna need to use the fixed update because we are using the physics system. So this is gonna run every second 50 times. And what we do is get the rigid body component on the player, and we add a force to it for the direction of the movement. So if I press W, then it's gonna move forward. If I press the W and D, then it's gonna move sideways. So yeah, it's just based on that. Yeah, and for the player, am I gonna increase it to 10? So you just need to play with the values. Yeah, and it decelerates. So accelerating to a point, I think. Yeah, it goes up to a speed. When I release it, just stops. So yeah, that's it. Let's get the timer. For the timer, I'm just gonna get. So this is simple enough to just copy it and paste it. Using 2MP Pro. Alright, so this one doesn't exist yet. Actually, in this case, no, because this one runs 50 times on every computer. So the fixed update is so the engine sets the fixed update rate. You can make it more if you want, like 0.01, so it's gonna run 100 times, but it's obviously gonna use more resources. But if your computer is slower, it could run slower. But on the updates, this one is frame rate dependent. So yes, in this case, if we would use any movement here, then we would need to use something called time.delta-time, which I can't use it here, but yeah, whatever. So this time.delta-time is just a float, which is well, so if you got less frames, the time between two frames is gonna be more. So so that multiplying value is gonna be bigger if you got more frames. So like you got 90 frames, for example, then this time between frames is going to be much less. So this multiplier is going to be much less, but in the overall on both for the 30 FPS or 90 FPS, because of this multiplier, it's going to be the same amount of force. But yeah, actually, we can try it. I think it's gonna work, although they might have a workaround rigid body stuff. I'm probably gonna get null reference exception. So yeah, stats 164, and if I disable vsync, yeah, so it accelerates faster. Just a sec. Okay, so it does accelerate faster, but because we have this max speed value, so we are basically clamping it. So if it would be bigger than the max speed, we just cap it at the max speed, so we can't go any faster. But we are accelerating to that speed faster with different FPS if we are using it in the update. I think. I mean, yeah, except if they are doing any checks in the rigid body to prevent that, but I don't think so. I mean, it's quite long, so yeah, I can't see anything like that. It all comes down to calculation. So physics calculation are quite heavy calculations. So, and that can be loads of it in a real game. So if they are capped at 50, it's going to be a good enough rate for most of the games. And you can set it if you need a more accurate one. And yeah, if you just let run in the update, you are just basically wasting resources without making any noticeable difference. But in the update, it will eat up a lot more resources if you let it run 90 or 165 times the frame, a second. install. Okay, so timer, I think it's gonna be... Does it getting that? Okay. Oh yeah, the timer works by default. So on the timer, so yeah, time remaining. So it's basically just set the timer to so you just set the timer for set seconds. You get the text in the timer, so it's gonna be this canvas. So this text input gonna be modified. You just get the components, so in the children. So right now, this is where the script lives. So the get component in children is gonna get is gonna try to get the TextMesh Pro component from each one of them, and when it finds this one, that's just one on this one, then it's just gonna reference it. So basically it would be the same if I put it for serialized fields. It would just show up serialized field. So yeah, now it's there, so referencing it. So this is basically the same what we do in here in the code. It just makes it automatically without any issues. So yeah. Moving on, in the updates, we're just checking the bool, which is set to false by default. And also if the time remaining, so if it gets to 0, it just it's just gonna return. But once, when we are decreasing the time remaining, so it once gonna get to 0 or less than 0. So in that instance, it's gonna run this if, and we're gonna set this times up to true, so it won't get to this loop ever again. It's just gonna exit out here. And we set the time remaining to 0 in this case. But if it's not less than 0, we're just gonna move on every frame, and we are gonna just get the minutes and the seconds, and we are just telling this TextMesh Pro to show that. And this is just a calculation for getting the minutes, which is easy because you just have to divide by 60. And for the seconds, you just need to use this modulo operator, something like that. So it's just gonna get the remainder of the, so it's gonna divide by 60, but it's just gonna get the remaining. So basically, if you decrease it by 1 second, it's gonna be 299. If you divide it by 60, you are gonna have 159 remaining. So that's gonna be the second. Okay, and on the game manager. Right. So what to write first is gonna be interesting. If I go back to this one, what does the game manager do? Game manager. Nope. So yeah, here we are using events, which is, I'm not sure how beginner friendly. So there's two ways to do this. If I want to make it multiplayer, I think the player should handle the logic of what happens to that instance, other than let's game manager decide if the game is basically over or not. So for the instance of the player. So in the player, I think is worth just getting the so like self-evaluate. So when it's red lights, it needs to check if one of its values are changing for rotation or for X and Y, or X and Z for the movement. So yeah, no problem. Thanks for helping me out. Okay, let's see if it works now. Yep. Okay. Okay. So. Scripts. So right now, I'm gonna have two states: red light and green light. It's gonna swap either way if it's no, actually no, I can set it if it's game over, it just stops. And I also can set it in the multiplayer if it's if everyone is either dead or won the game, it stops. So when it's game over, it's either so it's either the time runs out or everybody died or everybody won. So yeah. So yeah, player. Okay, save asset. Is it on the look or is it on the? Okay, touch. Yeah, I don't really need that. Yeah. Okay. So the control was kind of off. So if I set it to 1 and 1, it just feels off. Oh yeah, the scale is too strong, so I just had to decrease it to 0.1 and 0.1. These are arbitrary values, so you need to test it yourself. Yeah, this feels good. Right. Okay. I think 5 is enough. It just accelerates a little too quickly, but yeah, this one doesn't do it. So if I increase it to 8, yeah. If I got it to 0.05, just it's like it's slowing down really quickly. Oh, it's the same. Yeah, okay. I think I made a physics material earlier. Materials, where are you? Physics. Nope. Oh, where have they put that? No. Jesus, physics material. Okay. Just set it to frictionless 0, 0. And I add it to the player. Am I gonna help a little? Yeah. Yeah, it feels a little better. But if I also decrease the deceleration a little more, so 0.05. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's gonna be the value. 0.05. Okie dokie. Just eating my resources. Yeah. This feels alright. Oh, it's almost 2 hours now. Wow. How are you guys? If there's anybody. Oh, this link just doesn't want to work. I might get a link shortener. What does it call? Bit.ly? URL shorter. I know there's no Google one anymore. URL shortener. I'm gonna get the URL. Stream elements. Yep. Okay, let's see. I just send it to the chat. Both chat, yep. Yeah, looks like it's working for me. Right. So yeah, check it out. It's still free today and tomorrow until 4 p.m. in the UK. So I'm not sure what time is that in the USA or anywhere else. And tomorrow there's going to be another free asset on the asset store. But yeah. Just wanted to check something. So right now I'm streaming to vertical and horizontal to YouTube, and yeah, it's actually working. Okay. Oh, it's really strange. The amount of views you get on the shorts is like triple at least compared to the simple one, like the proper YouTube video live. But for Twitch, well, yeah, the discoverability is not too great. Right. Take a little break. Just gonna try this BRB scene, so I'll be right back. All right. Monitoring. Yep. Oh, actually, it works. Just gonna get these to OBS. Yep. Oh no, it's better here. Yep. Okay. Nope, not on this one. Guess I have to copy it and paste it and get it to the other one. Yeah, it's all right. Okay, I guess we hit that 2-hour mark. So I think I'm gonna end the stream here for today, but I'm gonna continue it tomorrow, sometime tomorrow afternoon. And yeah, try to finish this one, wrap it up and start making a proper tutorial of this. So yeah, take care and thanks for being here. And don't forget to get the free asset before it runs out, because it's gonna be tomorrow. So yeah, take care and see you next time. Bye.